Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back after a long wait. We unfortunately have to interrupt this music stream to go ahead and inform you that we will have gameplay coming your way in just a few moments. Of course, my name is TJ, my co-caster is still Dropbear, and we're waiting on Gaz to come back from taking a leak.
Oh, no, he's right back into it, as we do see.
That was a really quick urination trip. I'm proud of that.
The choices are going to be locked in, Bunny Bear and Eakins for Team Phear eSports. Actually, there won't be any switcheroos, thankfully. And, oh, chat says you have a sexy
right into this. Alright, thanks chat. We are right into this match between Phear eSports, made up, of course, of Bunny Bear and his cohort Eakins over on the left-hand side. Once we get into the match on the right, currently in this picking screen, opposing them will be Burning Sands, Gazig and Ubluff. Both of these teams are fairly experienced teams, but it's worth noting that Ubluff and Gazig over on Burning Sands, despite being, I would say, the lesser known of these two teams, just knocked out Niwa and Finlav.
Yes, that is one of the, I think we would say, prime teams in this tournament, the Fishwa boys. So they've actually been knocked out by these two, so it'll be interesting to see how they match up. We've got Gazhag and Bunny Bear trying to work out what they're picking. Bunny Bear will pick up the Rook as Gazhag. What are you doing? Going maybe Shifu? Oh no, they've unpicked. Maybe I should.
I'd be interested to see a double Lucy melee for both teams. That would be an interesting go ahead and pick up, but I don't know if they'll stick with it. They're both kind of considering waiting till the last moment. We'll see.
Just quickly, I'll turn on the spoiler cam so they can pick in peace. Maybe they're worrying about some screen cheating, I don't know.
Realistically, you should have had the spoiler cam on the whole time, but hey, you know. We do see the look in from Bunny Bear, and Gazig gonna go ahead and switch out. I quite like this. He swaps onto Ashka at the very last moment. That's an interesting idea. And it's going to mean that we have, you know, the kiting potential out of Gazig. What worries me, though, is Bunny Bear over on this Rook, particularly if he picks the right Battlerite, can just have constant stuns.
I think on Bunny Bear and Eakins on the left, we have seen Eakins run the nice Lucy many times before. Lucy being the, let's be honest, prime pick in this tournament. As Bunny Bear on the Rook. We haven't seen many Rooks, however. That's a new? No, it's not new, but it's a bit of an odd choice during this tournament. But we have seen Bunny Bear pick it up before as we go into round one.
There's Eakins and Bunny Bear side by side. Nice bit of boulder coming out. Eakins will be dealing with the backline. Searing flight already. The damage followed by the firestorm bolts flying through. Eakins needs to start worrying as the molten punch comes through, but he lands the panic. The flame strike won't, and Bunny Bear is going to be able to fall back with the healing out of Eakins. It's definitely a force to be reckoned with. Here he is rushing in. No, cancelling the rush. Nice counter cast to try and force out a counter in return, but now he's guaranteed 2-1 versus 1s, and so far Eakins is winning his, and that will be a patch fight coming in to keep Bunny Bear out of the fight temporarily. He's going to be able to recover. It will be Orb over for the red side. The stun won't land thanks to a great searing flight out of Gazig, able to read the situation perfectly. Panic misses, but Eakins is in a spot of bother as he barely dodges that flame strike. There's the pin against the wall. Nice molten punch to escape by Gazig. Now the searing flight, he has no more mobility left for the time being. They could have focused him, but they weren't able to do so. And indeed Eakins, he was pinned out by a great flame strike and stunned as a result. There's the stun though onto Ubluff. Speaking of stuns, Eakins will be trying to battle Gazig, and it's a 2v1. The ultimate, the Scorched Earth, will be cancelled once by the panic, but not twice in a row. It does do decent damage onto Eakins, and the follow through, while doing some damage onto Gazig, doesn't quite answer back.
How the hell are these Lucys winning these 1v1s against probably one of the more powerful DPSs in the game? It just makes no sense. I think we're going to see a small nerfing coming next patch.
To be honest, Lucy needs a nerf. She is the single most overpowered champion in the game. Now, there's the rush on in. The Scorcher will be panicked yet again, and he's not able to cast it. The heals need to come through, and they're not happening fast enough. Orb off the back of the Flame Strike will go to the red side, and maybe if Burning Sands can go ahead and make something out of this, it would be huge. There's the Scorcher. Decent damage. Petrify to play off of, but there's the Crippling Goo. It didn't come out because he couldn't manage it. He was stunned. He was stunned by Oobluff, and Bunny Bear just right behind him, wailing away the whole time. Gazig chasing around with the Molten Punch. There is the Firewall, and the Firestorm bolts flying through it are truly terrifying. It will be a stun off the back of that Flame Strike. Ecans, they just went from a dominant HP advantage to definitely behind. There's the Deadly Injection coming through, though. Gazig needs to start worrying about his own HP, as you do see the EX burn for a roll out of Oobluff. It will be the Firestorm bolts coming out, cancelled by a nice panic from Ecans. Deadly Injection follow through onto the barrier over on Oobluff. Bunny Bear absolutely hunting him down. The counter won't be proc. The panic will come through. Firestorm, Flame Strike flying through, trying to chip away at Ecans. He can't do it in time, and it is Gazig actually with the ultimate available. If he can pop the Scorched Earth at the right time, he could get 2 for 1, but he needs to use it now, otherwise he's going to be knocked out of the arena. There's the Invulnerable Berserk coming out with the panic follow through. There is nice Petrify's landing on the back of the Petrify Bolt Flame Strike combo, and it needs to be very fast now if he's going to use this ultimate. It needs to be now, but he's panicked out, and there's a 2 for 1 stun. That could be huge, but Bunny Bear, he overshoots. He's outside of the arena now. Oobluff managing to land the barrier on his teammate and follow through with the Crippling Goo and damage, but the Crippling Goo in return one-shots Atka and follows through onto Lucy. 2 for 1 with the Crippling Goo. And Bunny Bear will be able to guarantee it won't be a draw, and that will be 1-0 for Phear eSports.
That was very lucky by the side of Phear eSports. If Bunny Bear stood outside that circle for a moment longer, it might have been a draw, honestly. He had to dive back in to make sure that last tick didn't hit him.
We are now leading off into round 2. Gazig and Oobluff over on the right side. I really liked what they were doing. I loved how they were playing together, and that Ashka is absolutely terrifying. The CC that can come out of their team if they go ahead and play appropriately is so insane. They can lock down, they can make sure you never achieve what you want to achieve, and it's truly insane. Of course, you do have the double stuns available on Rook, followed by Ecan's utility. Both teams are so good at just controlling your character, making sure you can't play the way you want to play. So far, though, as the Firestorm does fly out, it's been all Gazig all the way. He's landed Flame Strike after Flame Strike. The Molten Punch to dodge that rush will be good. The stun does land on his teammate Oobluff, but the Flame Strike will guarantee the orb, and that means he's able to ultimate. Ecans will be the victim of the Infernal Scorch. The stun all out through is good, but the smack won't be enough to guarantee a stun of their own, and the Searing Flight into the backlines does a lot of damage on the Ecans. Oobluff not quite able to land that panic, but the barrier will protect him against the rock fall. There is the Storm flying through. Ecans will be the victim if he can't get this barrier up in time, which he's doing a great job at so far, but he can't keep it up for long, as there's the ultimate coming through. But the Firestorm, he's quite happy to eat it just in order to do all these Firestorm bolts. The ultimate, the Infernal Scourge, will fly through and guarantee the kill. Bunny Bear with his own ultimate will be invulnerable for the time being, but the Deadly Injection follow through is insane, and that guarantees the round. Tied up now 1-1. Burning Sands, they answer right back.
Bunny Bear took way too much damage in the beginning parts of that fight. Went down from full health to like almost half, and then you can't, as Rook, you're basically a melee on the front lines diving right in, so any max health going down is basically unattainable. It means that you can't heal right back up. So really good to see Guzhag managing to get that damage on them at the beginning of the fight.
Gazig over on that. Ashka trying to do the chip damage, not able to do it just yet. There it is, once again, great reads. He's just got all his mobility options so very well timed out. It will be a boulder in return. Nice play from Bunny Bear. The counter won't be procced, and Oobluff will need to hold his line. There's the Molten Punch. That means they almost certainly have orb for the red side, and there is confirmed as the boulder yet again misses. There's the backline play right into the panic. Very, very low HP. Lucy now eating a whole Firestorm. That's not what you want. The counter won't be procced either, but the stun, the crushing blow does land. There's the Crippling Goo in return. Ecan's taking a lot of damage. That's an awful lot of damage, and the Flame Strike follow through with the Infernal Scorch to finish off the deal will guarantee the kill for the red side. And now it's Bunny Bear invulnerable, sure, but for how long? As the ultimate does fly through, he will do decent damage on the Gazig, forced to use the Infernal Flight, or sorry, Searing Flight to go in and escape, but he's going to be driven back by the Clarity Flask and slain as the damage flies through from Ashka.
That was a really good read by Olderbuff. as Lucy, realizing that the opposing Lucy didn't actually have a roll-up, the no actual XP, so she was basically stuck there the entire time during that ult, and that means that Crippling Goo just was so effective. Gazag managing to go back in dying seconds and destroy her.
Now, here's Orb by Ubluff. I do a bit of chip damage onto Bunny, but it's not quite enough. Stun coming through. Gazag doing a bit in return, but it's not nearly enough. And actually, a nice boulder will fly through, forcing him to miss most of his Firestorm bolts. I really like that, and they're focusing him now with the Melted Punch. Will dodge the rush, and it will be Orb for the red side. Yet again, this center control out of them is terrifying. Panic does land onto the backline Lucy, though. This means Gazag, his options are limited. Nice flame strike with the body block to secure that. It hits. That's insane meta play, and he flies through just under the stunning blow to go ahead and land the Infernal Scorch. Lots of damage. He has panicked temporarily, but his Lucy is more than capable of handling the damage, and as the flame strike comes in onto Ekans, he will barely be able to dodge. The stun will land. This could be bad, but the multi-punch follow through is good. The smack into the wall followed by Boulder. That drives him out temporarily, but he will not take no for an answer. He's going to grind away at this front line, even if it kills him.
Rook has been missing, as the second I say that, Rook hits one of his dashes, but he was missing it mostly at the beginning of this round, and goes for the orb. Taken by blue team, but it will be... Ooh, I have lagged out. My apologies.
Bluff and Ekans battling in the back line, so we're going to go radio cast briefly, as it will be Bodybear throwing out a little bit of rocks, but he's not quite able to make the connections necessary. There's a Firestorm out of Gatling. What he needs to do, the Flame Strike won't land, though, and Orb will go to the blue side. There's a nice ultimate, the Firestorm coming through. Lots of damage, potentially, but the invulnerability and the smack follow through from the Rook, that's more than enough to guarantee some stuns and some damage in return. Very, very low now on Gazag, and he very narrowly dodges the rush in return. Crippling Goo coming out from Ubla over on the Lucy. That's an invulnerable, barely able to keep that Rook alive. The barrier now coming through, but the stun, the damage that's coming through is insane. Barely able to escape with the Searing Flights and turn around and land the damage necessary to secure a kill. Sudden death underway as Ubluff goes ahead and delivers the heals necessary onto Gazig. They're going to try and focus on Ekans, and they are so very close to confirming. Double panic, both sides landing what's needed to scare off their opposition. Their mirror matchup for the time being. There's the Molten Punch to dodge the initial damage in return, and as soon as the Firestorm bolts land, Ekans has no more maneuverability, and there's the Crippling Goo Scorched Earth combo, and we'll guarantee the 4th round in a row for the red side.
Okay. Just... Jeez. 1,120 damage by Gazag on the... Oh, jeez. That's just stupid amounts of damage. 444 just by Fireball alone. Oh.
Ekans needs to answer back. He needs to do so quickly, but he cannot find the space to really operate as he'd like to. Every time he and Bodybear get set up, they get punished. They're never able to get the center control, and it's really costing them.
Good panic onto Bunnybear. Olderbuff has been going very well with these panics and managing to space out. That being said, with having Gazag in the corner there is probably not the best place.
Nice use of Firewall in return. The stun onto Ubluff is good, but the panic lands. That drives that Ash out of the issue for the time being, and it means that Ekans can go forward and play at this point. There's a nice use of that boulder to go ahead and secure Orb. Crippling Goo will fly out. Bunnybear taking significant damage. If Ubluff can clarity potion him back into the damage, but instead the panic, that's more than enough. That's a lot of damage. Ekans separated for the time being. There's the flight into the backline. Searing Flag will more than do the job. Deadly Injection, though, will be held off by a barrier, and now it's 2 armor broken. Players in the backlines invulnerable. Berserk temporarily procced, but it won't last for long as the Firewall comes through. We will see the kill guaranteed onto the opposing Lucy, and Bodybear now all alone trying to get Orb. Won't be able to do so in time. We have an ultimate available on Ubluff the second he decides it's necessary, which should be as soon as there's a stun coming through. Yep, damage coming in, snare follow through. Invulnerability keeps him alive for the time being, but he will fall. 4-1 match point in favour of Burning Sands.
We haven't been seeing Infra a lot in this in many tournaments. So seeing him this well played at this event is quite surprising, actually. Just quickly having a look at this again. He's top of the damage, not as big as last time, but still mighty strong.
There's the rush coming in, that could be huge. The stun follow through is great, but the counter invulnerability will only last so long. Panic is nice. Nice boulder read is... This is just great play by Bodybear, who's stepped up. He's gone a mile further and a mile faster as the boulder throws that opposing Lucy right back into him. The smack doesn't land, but it doesn't matter. He's going to be able to guarantee orb before the Ashka Fire Strike can even land, and the boulder follow through is great. Bodybear absolutely tearing apart this front line, and Ekans, here's the big difference. Ekans is being able to stay alive here. He's being able to win his fight. The Flame Strike finally does end that, and Petrify Bolt out of Ublup will guarantee temporary control of Bunnybear. He's not able to get right into it for the time being. Ekans will be under fire though, as there's the damage flying through on the Infernal Scourge, but it's dodged, and the damage in return is truly impressive. The Panic Deadly Injection combo is terrifying. The Flame Strike won't land. The Firestorm Bolts do significant damage, but they mostly go into a barrier on Ekans and Bunnybear. They're able to fall back, they're able to play together, and they're ready to get right back into it. Oh, the stun reads the boulder following through. It's barely alive, and there's no mobility available currently on Gazing, meaning he has to eat that boulder. The follow through on the rush could be the end of him.
These blind rocks just over the wall. Absolutely amazing from Bunnybear. He's stepped it up another notch.
And there's the Searing Flight on out. The Panic will lead him right into a trap. Oh, but the crippling goo 2-for-1 temporarily. He comes able to escape, but for how long is he indeed? Does fall shut down by Gazik, who's able to stay alive, fall back, and then return to the battlefield. There's the ultimate available as soon as the invulnerability ends. He's going to be in a very, very difficult situation. Nice use of the dodge, the iframes, but he still stands in the scorched earth and does fall. That's an awkward way to lose the final point, and Burning Sands are victorious. Phear eSports falling 1-5.
I thought they had that round. That was an amazing round, and that they got crippling gooed, and that was it. They just couldn't get out of that crippling goo and took too much damage. So we will be seeing in the semi-finals Burning Sands. On the other side of the bracket, we are still actually waiting for a lot of results, so we'll be right back with more ESL action right after this.